They released their 9 public dates, got tickets to all of them. Thank you, Rusty. Thank you, Vicky. Excited about you guys. Thank you for taking care of me there. I actually wanna watch the tight end group a lot because you've got the
Ooh.
Kittle's Kittle, but you've got the old guard and Charlie Warner and Ross Dwelly, who we love and respect, and they kind of, they get the job done. But now you got these 2 young pucks, Braden Willis and Cameron Latu. Braden Willis is my favorite of the group. I think Cameron Latu eventually, but I'm so curious to see how that rotation works, how those snaps work, what all that is. So I'm going to be watching that tight end position a lot because the Niners always use 2 to 3 tight ends a game.
Interesting. How many tight ends, John, will make this roster?
3 guaranteed, possibly 4, but I think they're going to keep Kittle and the 2 young pups. Warner and Dwelly get waived, but they activate one of them to the practice squad and are active week 1 and probably get snaps over the rookies week 1. Very similar to what they did with Dwelly last year.
Yep.
So I think the young pups, they make the roster, and then one of the older guys, whoever clears waivers, I think they bring him back on the practice squad as a vet, and then they activate him week 1. That's my guess currently.
Shout out to those that are going to be at training camp with you.
Yeah, come say what's up.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm trying. We got the dates. The dates have been released. I got to figure out how to work around my weird schedule and their weird schedule. And if I can, I will definitely make it out there. But if not, the family will be out there. John will be out there. The crew will be out there. I know Miss Debbie will probably be out there. It's gonna be tons of people. Vicky will be out there. So we're gonna have some people out there. Eric's gonna be out there. So we're gonna have a good time. But I'm definitely gonna try to make it for 1 or 2 days of training camp. That's the goal for me. Hey, John, you like the tight ends. If I had to pick a group, I want to see the battle in the trenches.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I want to see Hargrave, and I want to see him go up against this offensive line, and then I
Oh,
expect
because
him
there's
to.
bad blood between those guys.
It's gonna be bad blood. Yes. So what's the bad blood, John?
Well, they just played against each other in the NFC Championship game. Hargrave had a
Bingo,
great game, and
bingo.
so that's gonna be an issue because the last time they were on the field together, they were enemies. Now they're embracing it, and so there we go. What's up, Adam Taylor?
It's gonna be interesting to watch. I have some t-shirt ideas that I'm releasing for training camp. Shout out to Ty. He's out there, he's watching right now. Ty Austin. So
Ty is the freaking man.
so
He is the
wait till
man.
you see what we're coming up with for the t-shirts. I can tell you this is gonna be focused on the training camp battles. All right. And so I got some battles that's going to be creating. But listen, we're hoping for a safe and healthy training camp for all the players. John, a player that didn't play last year, who are you expecting to see bump up in stock this year?
Dude, okay, so I did this, like, you know how I ranked my 90-man roster or whatever?
Yes.
I had, I think, 8 sophomore players on my biggest risers list. 8. I mean, there's just so many. And so, whether that's the safety Taylor Hawkins, Quantrez Knight, the corner, Jason Poe, Kalia Davis is the defensive tackle. Those guys are the ones I'm pretty pumped about. I just want to see what they can do. So I'm not, one of them might make the roster, but that is a talented group. Last year's draft class and undrafted free agent class, so much depth. Like the Niners didn't have a lot of picks, but man, they got a lot of good depth guys. So somebody's going to get a chance there out of that group. I'm
Sounds good.
hoping it's Quantrez Knight. I am such a big fan of that kid.
Yeah, the 49ers definitely have tons of depth and not just depth, they have talent in the depth pool, right? Like that's how I'm looking at the 49ers going forward. So, the best players are going to win the jobs, but then it comes down to if something ever happens to the best players, you want to make sure that the depth is just as talented and it's going to be ready to go. Whether it be a hiccup or a little transitioning going on, absolutely. But once they get in there, you're confident that they're going to be all right as time goes along. All right. And so I love the depth of this team. I think that's the one thing Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch has been building. It took a second, right, to get into this depth type of rotation. It took a minute, but now they seem to be churning out and producing these players at these positions, except for one. Can you guess which one?
I'm going through it in my head. I don't know.
I
What's
just
the
feel
one?
like they can't figure out the quarterback position.
Oh, but they have the depth. Like, they
But the
got it
depth is
there.
there. The depth is there. The depth is there. I will agree. For some weird reason, Jax has become a member of the channel. Again,
He has.
I think YouTube is bugging right now at this point. But Jax, thank you. I just wanted to put that out there to let you know that I do see that. Appreciate the membership. But I like the depth of this team, and it was something that I predicated my stuff on off of last year. But now the depth is more mature, more experienced, a little older. They understand the system a little bit more. That means the depth is going to be even better than it was
Yeah.
last year.
And I mean, every single team's going to lose players. You lost Jimmy Ward, right? You lose different types of players. You lose the defensive ends. You lose McGlinchey. But I don't think that there's anybody that would disagree with the fact that this 2023 49ers is a much better roster on paper than the 2022 49ers, which is crazy when you're looking at what they accomplished last year. Winning 12 straight, going to the NFC Championship, all those things. This is a better roster. There's no doubt about it.
I agree. Uncle Salty's in the house. He has a question for both of us. Which rookie can we exclude Jake Moody from the rookie
Yeah,
list?
for sure, for
I feel
sure.
like he's an automatic starter. Which rookie breaks into the starting lineup this year? Which rookie breaks into the starting lineup this year? John, you can go first.
I understand the want to say Tig, Jair Brown, but I'm gonna throw a gigantic curveball, and I'm gonna go Jalen Graham. Jalen Graham, the linebacker, at
6 foot.
linebacker number 3.
What is he? 6'2"? 6 foot.
Oh,
6'2", 200 and what pounds?
oh, I've got everything here. I just gotta
Coverage
pull it up
guy.
quick.
It's gonna be fun to watch. While John is getting that information,
6'2", 220.
there it
He's
is.
actually the exact same height and weight as DFF.
Yep,
So they got it tight. They got it
I,
tight.
they got it type. I like that you went with Jalen Graham. Uh, starting. I,
Go
I'm
with your
I'm
Michigan guy.
I mean I can't. Right. Oh well, I don't know if Ronnie Bell will crack the start. I feel like wide receivers don't crack the start.
Not for
Brandon
Kyle.
Ayuk and Debo Samuel were exceptions. But was that because they had to, right? Like they had to start. Like who was better
Those
than them?
Yeah. Yeah. Those were bad teams, and those were top, first round pick and a top 45 pick. So it's
Point
just
made.
different.
Point made. I'm gonna go with the Penn State kid. I feel like at some point Jair Brown will be transitioning, and this is no shout or shot at Deshaun Gibson. I just think if you have a player in the field and he starts making plays and it's slowing down for him quicker than what you thought it was going to, I think you have no choice but to put Jair Brown in. So I'm gonna go with Jair Brown out of Penn State. I think
God,
he'll.
that would be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you got to think about it. Jimmy Ward lost his job to Tayshaun last year to the point where they said, Jimmy could play because Jimmy's Jimmy and I love him. And they said, well, would you rather sit the bench? And he said, got it. And then he played nickel. But like, to have a rookie come in and do what Jimmy Ward could not,
That's. Oof. But
spicy.
hey, listen, look, they drafted Jair Brown. They traded up to get him for a reason. And part of it is his playmaking ability. And I told you guys on one of the shows, I think I did the expectations for the safeties. It was like a show that I did. Like this kid led the team in tackles for loss at 15. Like that was three more than the two linebackers on their team. So this kid finds a way to get into the backfield. Sounds familiar? Also, he had 3 interceptions last year and dropped two, which is consistent to the report of the rookie minicamp where he had like 5 interceptions and dropped
Yep.
three. Like this is what you're going to get from Jair Brown.
Gold helmet guy.
Gold
That's
helmet
huge.
guy.
And I always tell people during the draft, the team tells you how they feel about players. If they draft somebody, that means they like them. If they trade up for somebody, that means they love
Ooh,
them. Now,
pay
if they trade
attention.
back, that means they'll settle on that player, right? Or they had multiple options available that they liked. They jumped up. They jumped up to get him. They love Jair Brown. Make no mistake.
Yeah. And like I said, when it comes to him, you just gotta kind of let him go out there. I think the team is built because you talked about depth. I think the team is built for him to go out there and kind of be himself, right? It's kind of like what Talanoa Hufanga was able to do last year. He was like able to just kind of like be himself. He played instinct football and he made plays. I think with Hufanga, he's gonna with the addition of Wilkes, I think he's just gonna be that much better, right? Hufanga's going to be that much better. He's going to continue to stock up, right? And I think Gibson is there. I think Gibson is there as your anchor. He's the guy. He's the old man with the goatee. He's your Rafiki. He's the guy that you go to as the source. If things aren't going right, you still can count on him, right? But then you're looking for the future, and I think they drafted him, they traded up to get him because they knew they had a pillar, and eventually he's only there for a year. And here's what's gonna happen. Listen, Brown, go out there, make plays, show us you could do that, be you, bam, you'll be in the starting roster at no time. In no time.
Yeah, I like that. And I see this question from, yeah, right there, Adam Taylor. Why are gold helmets important? So, gold helmets, this is one of the demarcations that the entire 49ers front office gives to about 10 guys a year in the draft. And it's their culture fits, they fit the playing style, and they're clean on and off the field and are locker room guys that are going to fit exactly what you want. So, leadership, aggressiveness on field, all those things. And if you look at guys like Talanoa Hufanga, Colton McKivitz, right? Trey Lance was one of those. These are the gold helmet guys that they've drafted over the past few years. And yeah, does it mean everyone's going to pan out? No, but it means this is a guy that this organization, scouts, coaches, front office all fell in love with and said, that's our guy. He's what we want here. And then they traded up for him.
Yeah. I mean, which speaks, it's a different language in its own, right?
Mhm.
When you trade up for a guy, that kind of means you really want that guy. Shout out to my brother Adam Taylor. If you guys don't know who he is the mecca of Celtics, Boston Celtics news. He's the one that got me into the Celtics,
Y'all take care
forefront.
of Randy Bullock for me, will you please?
You just better understand and love Grant Williams, John. That's
I got
oh,
I got to
Adam.
grow through it.
Adam, while you're watching, John is a Mavericks fan and he's talking shit about Grant Williams already. Let that sink in. Which
Maybe I
is
should be a Celtics fan with this attitude. I
well,
don't
what's
know.
funny is Adam couldn't stand Grant Williams a few years back. And I was like, yo, he's gonna be nice. Like, watch, just gotta let him do him. And then he got on the Grant Williams train and now he's no longer here. So that's what it is. And like Adam said, you'll love Grant, man. Adam, appreciate you for tuning in, bro, from across the pond as well.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.